You need to make it through session 1. Here are 6 steps to get you there fast. Step 1, players. Every game needs players, obviously, and a DM, depending on where you are, but if you're running the game, you need players. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, sky's the limit. I'd recommend 2 to 4 to start with. I'd also recommend, if it's your first time, having them be close friends, since DMing can be kind of scary. Players need to create their characters, workshop, decide their class, their backstory, anything like that, their names of course, before the game can start. The DM will decide the world. You can use a pre-built from a book, a module, or homebrew, creating his own. Step 2, learn the rules. Whether you're a player or DM, understanding the base rule set of Dungeons & Dragons does not hurt. It will teach you general outlines of how certain things are played, or when to roll, or damage outputs, or how to do damage, stuff like that. I'd recommend watching a game online, such as Critical Role, Dimension 20, stuff like that, to see a general outline in how the game is played through a full session. Step 3, Session 0. Session 0 ensures that all players in the DM are on the same page about the style of campaign or sessions they want to play. This is where you decide, do you want a gritty Game of Thrones style campaign where players can die? Do you want a more fantastical, whimsical, exciting but lighthearted campaign where it's mainly just for fun? Do you want the campaign to be more narratively driven, or do you want it to be more by flying by the seat of your pants? Do you want role-playing? Do you not want role-playing? Do you want to play this game over Discord, or do you want to do it in person at someone's house? At the end of the day, communication. That is the point of a Session 0. And I think D&D groups will live and die by their communication ability. If you have questions, bring them to the group. If you have proposals, also bring them to the group. Doesn't hurt. And at the end of a Session 0, please set a Session 1 date, and maybe even a general schedule for how often you want to play. Step 4, preparation. For my first session as a DM, I was terrified. I was extraordinarily nervous, and I prepped as much as possible, especially since I homebrewed my first world. It's funny looking back at how nervous I was, because once you get into the swing of things, it gets easier, but it is nerve-wracking, because you are kind of opening your soul a little bit to your players as a dungeon master for the first time. All you need for preparation for your first session is an opening, meaning how are your players interacting with each other? How do they meet? Or are they already together? And what is the environment that they are starting in? So the classic is, oh, they just start in a tavern, because that's where all good fantasy stories start. After you have your opening, I'd recommend at least one encounter to then get the general flow of whether it be combat or just interactions and doing roles with your players. My first opening was set in one of my players' taverns, where they had a underground fighting ring, which another one of my players was actively involved in the middle of a brawl. Then my third player stumbled in as basically a drunkard and kind of discovers this fighting ring. From there, guards break down the door, and there's your first encounter. Step 5, push through. The first 15 to 30 minutes, actively being a DM, will probably be brutal. Granted, that might change for you, but for me, it was extraordinarily nerve-wracking. My heart was pounding. I was nervous, my voice was cracking. I was uncomfortable doing voices for NPCs. I was strange and awkward about my descriptions, and it was rough all around. It was definitely getting my feet wet, but know that that won't last forever. Once you are through the 15 to 30 minute stage and you're in an encounter, you're kind of in the flow of the game and your players get into it, that is when the fun actually starts and the magic of the game opens up. Do not let this 15 to 30 minute treadmill, we'll call it, stop you from playing. It will be awkward, but when you start anything new, when are you ever good off the rip? Never. You're always terrible. You're always strange. Think about when you learned to walk. You weren't running marathons when you first tried to climb up. You fell. Please push through this 15 to 30 minute gap. And once you're through, before you know it, your session 1 will be complete. The mission is done. Oh. Then comes step 6. Schedule session 2. Once you've finished your first session, ensure that you have a second session planned if you want to keep playing, and have fun from there. Just keep going. At the end of every session, I like to schedule the next one, or at least have a general date or weekend when that will happen. Have fun telling stories with your friends. Good luck.